right, now into some entertainment. MTV VMA nominations are in. Leading the pack, Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande with 9 each. Billie Eilish and The Weeknd both scored 6, while Taylor Swift has 5. New category this year, Best Quarantine Performance. That's pretty cool. They're going down August 30th. Well, speaking of Taylor Swift, her new album Folklore is out. It is straight fire, but she had to change the branding of her album after her organization was accused of copying a logo. Amila Razul is the founder of the Folklore, an online retail, and she said that Swift's team ripped off her company's logo. Taylor removed the merchandise from her site, replacing them with a new design that reads Folklore Album. Swift sent a special message to the owner saying she admired her work and was making a donation to her company. Well, with the recent success of Hamilton, Disney Plus announced they're developing the Broadway musical Once on This Island into a musical adaptation. The story set in the Caribbean, telling the story of a peasant girl who falls in love with an aristocrat. It ran for a year but continues to gain fans. Well, several classic sitcoms from the 90s are making a comeback courtesy of Netflix. This week, the streaming giant announced it's adding 7 classic African-American shows from the 90s and early 2000s. The list includes hit shows like Sister Sister, Moesha, and The Game. The sitcoms will start streaming on Netflix in just a few weeks. Well, Metro Minneapolis now has an 11-foot statue of Prince's love symbol. Check this out. Operators of his compound-turned-museum just unveiled it. It combines symbols that represent male and female. Prince changed his name, if you remember, to it during a dispute with his record label back in 1993. Well, new biography bombshells from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's so-called journey to finding freedom. Entertainment Tonight's Kevin Frazier has more on that story.
I think they are very much in a pressure cooker situation.
Burning their bridges and burying the ashes. Professional victims, accused of being tone deaf and whining. The headlines show no mercy as H&M's critics say this explosive book is torpedoing any chances they had of returning to the firm.
For the royal family, yes, this book has been damaging because it has opened up old wounds.
There's been crushing backlash, even though the book is not out until next month. The authors quote the couple's friends and confidants for the incredibly detailed, juicy stories. But a Sussex rep says the pair were, quote, not interviewed and did not contribute to the tell-all.
There is a lot of speculation that they may also have spoken to Harry and Meghan themselves.
Finding Freedom also makes accusations of racism, royal staffers calling Meghan Duchess different, and paints a toxic atmosphere with employees labeled vipers scheming behind Harry and Meghan's backs.
There was a feeling at the palace that Harry and Meghan were becoming too big.
And that rift between the brothers may now actually become wider now that so much royalty is being spilled all over the palace floors.
The problem with this book is that it has busted open that old and still raw wound at a time when it was just beginning to heal.
We'll have much more on the next Entertainment Tonight. I'm Kevin Frazier. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Kevin. Ooh, royalty indeed. And Post Malone swears UFOs are real because he has seen them. Okay, so Posty chatted it up with Joe Rogan for a 4-hour podcast episode. They talked about him doing mushrooms and seeing a UFO in upstate New York when he was 16.
Okay.
And I'm thinking maybe those two have something to do with each other. Who knows?
Well, Joe Rogan, it's pretty free in that room when they're doing those podcasts, so who knows?
Post Malone, he's cool though. He's out there. We love him.
You never know, right?